past the holidays, if that makes sense. So we're going to talk about body composition and why some people are predestined or predetermined to be a certain shape, a certain size, and how you can change that by your eating habits, by exercising, by supplementation. All of these different things can change your body composition. So when I say body composition, like what is that? So there's four components to body composition, and that is your he muted me. There we go. Can you hear me now? 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 Okay, awesome. So there's four components of body composition. The first component is fat. Second component is body water mass, the minerals, and then proteins that are in your body. And so most of us, are familiar. We kind of divide our bodies into fat and then fat-free mass. And many of us really just focus on weight and really put a strong focus on striving to have a healthy body fat percentage, and that would help to create a better body. But healthy body composition is a tool to help you reduce your risk for diseases like cancer and heart disease and diabetes. And some fat is required for human survival, but because carrying too little body fat can indicate eating disorders like anorexia or bulimia or trigger, it's called female athlete triad syndrome. And that just means a person who works out and 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 only eats very little. And so those types of things could be manifested by being that way. And so when you're carrying too much body fat, including that visceral fat that encases our organs, you really could increase your risk of metabolic diseases and other major health threats. So what's considered fat-free mass? Well, that includes components of your body that aren't considered fat at all. And that includes your organs, your muscles, water, connective tissue, and your bones. And although these things are considered fat-free masses, when we're talking about body composition in terms of fitness, the focus is definitely on working towards optimal muscle mass and getting body fat levels within ideal range. And so that's when people say, I don't have too much control over that because it's genetic. And some people do feel it's genetic, but we can beat genes. We can beat the genes. So genes do certainly influence your body type to some extent, but you are not a prisoner to those genetics. So bringing nutrition and movement into your life can certainly cultivate a healthier body composition. So the number one principle is knowing that you have a choice about everything you do. You really have a choice as to whether or not you want to be healthy. And if you're choosing not to be, that's up to you too. But when you have a choice inside you and you know that you have complete control, you actually can be free. So, what's the motto here? Take control over your life so that your life doesn't control you, and the things that are happening to you, you're more in control of. So, you may grow up believing that you're a victim of your genes. And, there was a doctor back in 1940, Dr. W.H. Sheldon, who proposed that there were three main body types based on inherited composition traits. So he proposed that they were set in stone and couldn't be changed, and that theory certainly has traveled with him over all these years. But scientists have now debunked that research. So these body types that he came up with was ectomorphs, which is thin and fragile or fine boned, endomorphs, which are round, soft bodies, and then mesomorphs, which are square, more muscular builds. And so the National Academy of Sports Medicine points out that some of his findings stood up over time, but many have not. So it turns out genetics environment exposures, access to food, um, our habits all play a role in the compositions of our body. So this is good news. It's good news because it means that we aren't necessarily stuck with what we inherited. Ooh, that's good. That's good. That's good. So we can use our individual body type and experiment with different exercise and nutrition methods to create a better body that works for us. And so, how do you assess your body composition? How do you measure it? And what does healthy body composition look like? So a lot of healthy health professionals, they rely on the BMI chart to determine a person's weight category. That includes underweight, normal, overweight, or obese ranges. So this serves as a quick and easy way to possibly highlight the potential risk of obesity, related disorders, or even eating disorders. The meaning of BMI is body mass index, and this formulation is based on weight comparative to height. And so the BMI chart um, it tells you, it takes into account somebody's weight compared to their height. So the National Heart and Lung and Blood Institute offers an easy calculator. And so underweight is a BMI score of and this is your body mass index, which tells you what your body fat levels are. So underweight, a score is 18.5. Normal is 18.5 to 24.9. Overweight is 25 to 29.9. And a BMI of 30 or greater is obesity. So based on the BMI chart, an adult woman who is 5'5" should be 114 pounds. Is 114 pounds to 144 pounds is considered normal. Weighing 150 pounds to 174 pounds would make her overweight. And anything above 180 pounds would mean she's obese. And anything more than that is extreme obesity. Now, a man who is 6 feet tall, his normal weight range would be considered 140 pounds to 177 pounds. Overweight would be 184 pounds to 213 pounds. And obese would be anything over 220 pounds. So the BMI chart has some flaws to it because it doesn't take into account some other things like if a person is has a different genetic makeup or age differences. So some of that is a little can be up or down either way. So that's important. So it's not a perfect system, again, because some people really do have things that impact their body composition, like ethnicity, their age, their gender, again, muscle mass, bone density, fluid retention. All of this can make the BMI go up or down. So you need other ways to be able to do that. And so there's so many. I found so many different ways that people measure healthy body fat percentages and levels that signal obesity. And so I'm excited because there's so many ways, and so we're going to be able to delve into that. So how can you really do that? So there's body composition tests that range from relatively cheap, and then techniques that require more complex measurements, not accessible to the general public. So your doctor would have to do that for you. So people want to know this information because if you know it, if you know your body composition, you can optimize that to live a healthier life, reduce the risk of disease. Some forms of body composition measurements are pricey and only available at the store. So there's at the doctor. There's one called skin fold measurements, and they literally measure skin and how far it is away from your actual body when it comes to fat content. And then, of course, BMI. And then my favorite of late is the waist circumference one. And so really knowing this information can, really be predicated on if a person has type 2 diabetes. Um, it may help to distinguish fat and lean body mass. It also on the, will help you to determine if you have a healthy body weight but harbor hidden visceral fat on the inside. And some people can have that. And me and my girlfriend say this all the time, that we skinny fat, right? Because you got fat in places. And so this article actually says that if you are thin but have unhealthy body fat, visceral fat, you can be known as skinny fat. So I can't wait to tell her about this article, because we've been talking about that. And so when you think about visceral fat, what is visceral, visceral. Visceral fat is very dangerous. This because visceral fat is stored around your organs. It can contribute to heart disease, dementia, cancer, depression, and many other diseases. Stored excess body fat and obesity are actually more than just unsightly, is downright dangerous. It's hard to imagine obesity and certain types of body fat as inflammatory diseases on their own, but that's exactly what it is. When a person has this visceral fat, it's this excess intro abdominal adipose tissue of fat, and it's all accumulated in your midsection. It is known as deep stored fat that's underneath the skin, and it's called subcutaneous belly fat. And it is like a jelly like fat that's actually wrapped around major organs, including your liver, your pancreas, and your kidneys. If you have a protruding belly or large waist, that is a clear sign that you are storing dangerous visceral fat. While most of it is noticeable and pronounced in obese individuals, anyone can have visceral fat, many without even knowing it. Visceral fat is especially dangerous because these fat cells do more than just sit there and cause your pants to feel tight. They also change how your body operates. Carrying around this excess visceral fat is linked with an increased risk for cancer, coronary artery disease, stroke, dementia, diabetes, depression, arthritis, obesity, sexual dysfunction, sleep disorders are all caused by this belly fat. So, visceral fat is considered toxic, and it is double trouble to the body because it's capable of provoking inflammatory pathways, plus signaling your molecules that can interfere with the body's normal hormonal function. And so it's almost like it's its very own organ, and is capable of having a very large impact on your body. The fat cells do more than just add simple extra calories. They prove to change human physiology, and more so than what was previously thought. Doctors used to think that fat tissue was just fat tissue, but it's not. This fat tissue is its own organ. It's its own organ, and it's pumping out hormones and inflammatory substances every day, all day. These inflammatory chemicals are called cytokines, and they lead to inflammation. And at the same time, it interferes with hormones that regulate appetite, weight, mood, and even brain function. So, visceral fat got to go. We don't got time. So, how do we measure? So, what you can do is measure your waist. The waist is the waist circumference. You need one of these, and you just take it and you measure like right around your waist to your navel, right around your hips, and that will tell you what the numbers are. So the measurement is for adults. So with a waist circumference of more than 40 inches and a non and a non-pregnant woman with a waist circumference of more than 35 inches face a higher risk of developing obesity related diseases. So you absolutely will take the thing right under your hip bone, and wrap it around. When you wrap it around, you don't want to squeeze it. You want to just make sure that it's sitting right there. And so for women, if it's over 35, then that is signs of obesity. And for men, if it's over 40, that is also signs of obesity. And so the question then becomes, why does this happen? Why does fat increase for most people around their waist? And it's because of eating more and more processed and packaged food, fake food, and we decrease eating fresh plant foods. We should be eating fresh plants every day. Eat more plants. Even if you eat meat, eat more plants. Eat more plants than you eat meat. Eat more vegetables, eat more fruit, more things that are alive and living. Because one of the things that we know is you cannot cure a living body with dead food. If everything on your plate is dead, you're just adding to the problems that you already have. So the goal would be, if you cut your plate into fours, 3/4 of that plate should be fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. The other 1/4 should be whatever kind of protein you want to have. And protein doesn't necessarily have to come from meat. So your meat should really be, I heard one professional say condiment. Condiment meaning condiment amount size. So whatever, however much ketchup or mustard or whatever you would use, that's how much meat you should be eating to really start to change how your body is composed. And so you want to change that. And so this is it's really what's happening now is overconsumption of high calorie foods, including processed vegetable oils, sugary drinks, fast foods, and all types of sweet snacks. So this weight also increases stress levels. Stress levels make us eat more and increase in this belly fat. These busier schedules, which leaves us less time for healthier habits like sleep or exercise or eating more while distracted. So many people just eat and they're not really paying attention. They talking, they walking, they doing all these things. So there's no mindful eating going on. You know, some populations have trouble even affording healthy food. It's been found that individuals from disadvantaged communities seem to have a higher risk for obesity than more affluent areas. Genetics can also affect why you have that, including things like fetal and postnatal imprinting that passes on from the mother, from the mom to the baby. Research shows that a mother's environment, her habits, and diet during pregnancy can have a lasting consequence on the baby's body weight and risk of chronic disease as well. Sometimes decrease in your physical activity, including people working on sedentary jobs, spending less time doing physical activities, even in their leisure time. People don't go skating no more. They don't ride their bikes. They don't go walk. You know, it's so many things that you can do. I can't wait. I finally got my red bottom boot off. Ooh, 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 ooh. So now I can wear high top boots and high top sneakers. And the minute I'm completely released, I'm going to dance class. I'm going to ride my bike. I'm going to do all of the things that I want to do. Before I broke my ankle, I was going skating and all this kind of stuff. So you don't necessarily have to just exercise. You can find some kind of fun activity that you enjoy and add that, because this decrease of physical activity is where you start to find problems. You know, your knees not helping you move. You become, this is what I said to my son. I said, I feel not, I used to be like firm and I'm starting to feel squishy, and I don't want to be squishy. And you don't have to be fat to get cellulite and dimples and all that kind of stuff. And I decided I want to fight that as much as I possibly can. So all of the fun things that I used to do, from jumping double dutch, all of those things, I'm going to do all those things again. And even if you haven't done any of these types of things in a long, long time, you have control. It is up to you to decide the thing that's fun for you to do and go do it. Because if you continue to do what you've been doing, it's only going to get worse. You know, my dad used to say, you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. And if you find that as the years are progressing, you're getting less and less mobile, you're feeling more and more tired, and you kind of just start sinking into, oh, I'm getting older and that's just what it is. No, it don't have to be that. You can absolutely make a decision to do that different. You can make it look. What's our lady Ernestine Shepherd in her 80s still bodybuilding? I saw another lady in her 80s on the Steve Harvey show doing push-ups on her hand. She did them with her fist. She did it with her open hand, and then she did it on her fingers. Like what? Doing planks, all these kind of things. So you can decide. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter anything. It's all in your mindset. It's all in your belief, because we don't get what we want. We get what we believe. If you believe you can, you're right. If you believe you can't, you're right also. So you have to think about these things that can help you. And if you need support in doing that, get the support. Hire a health coach. Go to a gym, talk to a trainer. Be proactive, because if you are not being proactive and you have these things going on, I promise you, you are cutting your life short every single day. Every single day, one cheesesteak away, one slice of pizza, and it's just shaving more and more life off of you. When I sat at the Thanksgiving table with my friends, and I just looked at the healthy options versus the unhealthy options. Now, granted, 80-20, that has not changed. 80-20. So you can have your 80-20 over your holidays, but at the same time, you still got to be mindful. You can't have Thanksgiving on Thursday and eat that bad food Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5 whole days of bad eating food, and expect your body not to have a reaction to it. You're gonna be more tired. You're not gonna have as much energy. You don't have any good calories to burn anything with. So it's so important. So find something fun. Changes in toxicity levels in the body can cause these neurobiological processes to release certain hormones based on the kind of food that you are eating. So there's so much studies around the effects of weight gain among friends, siblings, and spouses, and they found that a person's risk of becoming obese is increased by 57% if a close friend became obese, 40% if a sibling did, and 37% if a spouse or partner did. We have to pay attention to what's happening. And so we want to absolutely determine if that's you. And so now that we know, what the problem is, this visceral fat and how dangerous it is. I didn't know that belly fat had a mind of its own. Basically, it really operates independently and causes these inflammatory things to happen in the body. Some people have knee pain and back pain because they're carrying so much weight. You're like, oh, my knees ain't good. No, it's not that your knees aren't good. It's that you have the same skeleton that you had 30 years ago when you were thin. And now this same skeleton is carrying 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds more than what it's capable of carrying. So you're going to start to see signs of wear and tear on the body. So it's so important to be mindful as you are taking in these additional calories without working out, taking in these additional calories and going to bed. Like, we cannot continue to do that. We have been talking about this for a very long time. And I really believe that going into 2022, we got to cut it out. We got to cut it out. It's not cute. It's not cute to keep eating bad and thinking that it's going to change. It's not going to change unless you make a decision to change it. And so We can change it because your genes and prenatal exposure does not lock you into a specific body composition for life. While those things certainly have impact, but when it comes to the fetal and postnatal imprinting that can come from your mom and from your ancestry and all that, it can happen. But research does show that a mother's environment, her habits, and all of that can have lasting consequence on body weight and the risk of chronic disease in her kids. But regardless of the situation, you can start changing your body composition to a healthier profile. And there's even certain situations where underweight people need to increase their fat mass. In general, most people will just focus on um, upping your lean body mass and lowering your fat mass. So how do you do it? It's really all about your gut too. The diversity of the gut microbiomes. And so focusing on repairing your gut is key and it's often overlooked. So by looking at your gut will help you to improve your overall body composition. And so how do you start to repair your gut? Well, first and foremost, you want to cut out as many processed foods as possible. You want to reduce added sugars in your diet. Added sugar from juice, from soda, like juice, juice right now, unless it's fresh pressed, cold pressed, um, 100% juice, not from concentrate. When you are in the grocery store and you like your Ocean Spray and all these different other juice brands, when you look at these juice brands, you want to look at the container. If it said, I don't care if it says all natural, I don't care if it says organic, I don't care what it says. If it says from concentrate, it is not juice, it's sugar water. From concentrated juice means they have stripped all of the good natural things out of it, and then they added sugar, and then they added some other synthetic vitamins and all this other stuff to make it look healthy. So pay attention to your orange juice, pay attention to your cranberry juice, your pineapple juice, all of that. If it says from concentrate, do not buy it. It is a waste of your money. You're drinking flavored water. Okay. When it comes to soda, soda shouldn't be on your list at all. Shouldn't be drinking soda, especially not diet soda. It does nothing for you but give you empty calories. And if you are somebody who likes to have fizzy things, there's things that you can. There's other things I like, Izzy. But if you are somebody who's watching your sugar intake, Izzy does have sugar, so that's something that you have every once in a while. But soda should be not in your diet at all, especially if you're trying to lose any type of body fat or especially belly fat. Be careful of your fruits and vegetables when you buy them. You want to buy them as organic as you can possibly afford, because they are covered, some of the conventional ones are covered with pesticides and harsh chemicals, and that can have an impact on your body and on your gut. Find some exercise or movement that works for you and get a session in every day, even if it's a mini one for 15 minutes. I know we busy, I know we entrepreneurs, but you must take the time out for you, because if you find yourself laid up in a hospital bed, you're going to wish you had taken 15 minutes to keep your muscles agile and moving. Because one of the things that I notice when people get sick, the first thing that they lose is their muscle composition. They start to get really weak and their muscles get really flabby. And that's why you notice in the hospital with some people, the physical therapy people come in and they're moving their arms and they're moving their legs to get their muscles to move, so their muscles are not getting weaker and weaker. But you right now, in the position that you're in, you have the ability to go for a walk for 15 minutes. You have the ability to, I don't care, walk up and down your steps, walk around your block. I know it's getting colder. Go listen, these gyms got $10. They got $20. They got, if one person paid $20, they could bring somebody with them for free. So find yourself a buddy and y'all go together, but find what works for you. Um, I signed up for African dance class. I signed up for Divas and Heels dance class because I wanted to do things that were fun and not things that seem so exercisey. But I promise you, you work up a sweat and it's fun, and you're with a group of people. And a lot of places are, they're big enough so that you can go and be COVID compliant in these locations. And so the next thing you want to do is focus on soluble fiber. So everyone is different. So finding what works for you is key. So reducing the amount of refined sugars and refined carbohydrates that you eat is vital. And so while doing that, adding this soluble dietary fiber can also reduce body fat. There was a 5-year study that said mixing moderate exercise with diet and high soluble fat decreased the rate of the dangerous visceral fat by 7.4%. So absolutely losing that stomach fat will help, can be helped by doing soluble fibers. So, and that also increases the diversity of the gut bacteria and helps you to feel full longer. And so some of the most robust sources of soluble fiber is Brussels sprouts, black beans, oats, avocados, turnips, pears, and there's so many things that you can add to that. There's also what I found is that in my new relationship with the CBD company, where there's a naturopathic doctor connected with them, and one of the things he talked about was eating right for your blood type. And there's blood types that shouldn't eat avocados. There's blood types that shouldn't eat almonds. There's blood types that shouldn't eat any meat. AB are more vegetarian types. So knowing your blood type is going to help you too in this journey. O's are more meat eaters, so that means you need a higher intake of protein. But again, that protein does not have to come from meat. That protein can come from pea protein, rice protein. It's so many proteins that you can get. So consider that. One of the things that my friends are doing is something called the flat belly lifestyle. They're going to start this big challenge on January 1st. You can get this flat belly bundle. You can follow along with other people, taking before and after pictures. If you're interested in that, let me know. Shoot me an email, and I'll get you in. Consider drastically cutting back on alcohol. Or cut it out altogether, especially hard liquors like vodka and tequila, bourbons. Really keep that on a occasional thing, because even a small amount of alcohol, like a half shot of vodka, causes an individual to eat 11% more calories compared to people who didn't drink the alcohol. And think about it, when you go out, right, you get a couple of shots, and then what you want? Wings, fries. You're not ordering the salad on the menu. You're ordering all of the bad stuff. And so alcohol also disrupts sleep patterns. Research shows people sleep. People eat on an average an extra 83 calories per day, and for each 30 minutes of sleep there's a deficit compared to people who don't drink alcohol. The next thing you want to do is hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. A 2016 Harvard study found that increasing the amount of water you drink daily by 1 to 3 cups could reduce the amount of calories you eat from 68 calories to 205 calories per day, leading to significant weight loss. So typically, hydration calls for 25% to 50% of your body weight. So really like 50%. So when you think about, if you weigh 150 pounds, you should be drinking 75 ounces of water. And that doesn't mean, okay, Darlaina said drink 75 ounces of water, and then today you try to drink 75 ounces of water. No. it's hard to do it. No, I'm not going to call it hard, because we get what we say. I'm going to say that you should taper yourself up. If you don't drink no water right now, trying to drink 75 ounces could cause a challenge. Maybe set your timer on your set an alarm for every hour, and then drink 8 ounces of water every hour, or 4 ounces of water every hour, and just build it up until you get to the amount of ounces that you should be drinking. Consider intermittent fasting a few times a week. Try fasting 16-8. That means you avoid, you can drink, but you're avoiding eating for 16 hours, followed by an 8-hour window when you can eat. So you can do that overnight, and then in the morning, and then, even working out on an empty stomach, it forces your body to get fuel from the fat versus getting fuel from food that you eat. So everybody can't do that, but some people can. So if I definitely can. So if you decide that you're going to work out in the morning, go ahead, get up, get your workout in, and then eat. Because by working out on an empty stomach, that makes your body pull the fuel from the fat that's already in your body. So that is an amazing cheat code that you can use. And so um, there's some studies that suggest fasting helps reduce body fat faster than calorie restrictions alone. So there was a study done. They found that coupling the 16-8 fasting, and there's 10, there's different fasting hours that you can choose. But by choosing 16-8 with some resistance training, reduce body fat, increase lean muscle mass, and improve blood lipid levels, which is your cholesterol, your good cholesterol. Also, care about your stress reduction just as much as your calories. So, a high stress lifestyle just floods the body with the fat storing cortisol. So, find some calming techniques that you can use, the stress relief. That also will help you to lose belly fat by prioritizing the stress reduction. Things like meditation, walking in nature, touching trees, grounding your feet. All of these things are important to help you. There's so many stress relievers you can do. Also, when you think about the economic toll of obesity, it's hard to believe that the United States still allows these obesity promoting chemicals called obesogens in everyday products. And it's so out of control, it's hard to even avoid the threat. So, think about when you are eating your food, and what's in it, um, to make different choices. And what they found is that low income and minority areas are more likely to be in these areas, which they call the sacrifice zones. What? And that includes the pollution that's linked to obesity and diseases. And so here are 10 ways to help you to burn belly fat. One, eat more fat burning foods. Fat burning foods from nature, not fake foods in boxes, not fake meat, not impossible burgers, all that. Fake burgers, impossible meat, it is really impossible for your body to digest that. It is impossible because it is a chemical. It is synthetic. Everything about it is not real. It tastes real, it tastes good, and all of that. And people think it's vegan. It's not vegan. It's a chemical bomb that you put in your body every time you eat it. Now, I'm not saying you can't have one every 6 months, but all of this impossible food that they got in the supermarket, stay away from it. It is terrible. It's not good for your heart. It's not good for your stomach. It's not good for your circulation. It's bad for so many things because the body does not recognize it as food. It recognizes it as a chemical invader. So don't do it. The best and easiest things you can do is have real foods that humans have been eating for all of history: vegetables, fruits, seeds, clean, well-sourced meats, and fish, and other things grown in healthy, rich soils without any chemicals added is so important. Stay away from sugar, liquid calories, and certain grains. Avoid added sugar. when you're trying to reduce belly fats. There's so many hidden sources of sugar in sweetened dairy things like yogurt, milk. All these things have extra sugar added. Packaged snacks made with grains, you want to stay away from them, because the other problem that some people have, they have this gluten um, intolerance, and gluten can cause the belly to bloat. So you want to stay away from that. Just drink more plain water, drink herbal teas or fruit. You can infuse your water with fruit and lemon slices so that it, tastes good. And feels good when you drink it or eat it, and you feel like you're doing something. Eat mindfully. Mindful eating means um, a lot of things, but the key part to losing belly fat is slow down while you eat. Chew your food. You should chew your food up to 20 times before you swallow it. Some people just swallow. Chew it, taste it, enjoy it. You will get full faster by taking time out to chew your food rather than scarfing it down real fast. Be aware of how much food it takes for you to feel satisfied when you're eating without becoming overstuffed. Eat while undistracted, not in the car, not walking, not working, talking. Take time out to go eat your food. Sometimes, even if you work from home, get up from your desk, go to the table, and eat your food there, undistracted and avoiding multitasking. Give yourself the gift of eating your food slowly and mindfully. Don't emotionally eat. Eating is can be mental, and comfort eating to handle stress is no good. Don't eat the ice cream because somebody upset you. And if you're going to eat the ice cream, small amounts, small amounts, small amounts. Eating in a healthy manner first and foremost in order to support your health long term rather than to lose weight quickly. So what we're talking about is not diets. What we're talking about is a lifestyle change for yourself. So you want to definitely take the time out to do that. It's so important to shift lifestyle patterns and eating patterns and not a diet. So that's so important. For those people who can, finding a way of movement, they recommend HIIT workouts. Maybe your knees can't do HIIT right now. Maybe you just can do a little movement around the house, a little two-step, whatever. But find something that works for you. Reduce your stress. Chronic stress over long periods of time releases this cortisol, and then the cortisol um, makes you retain belly fat all around, and all of that just raises your risk for heart disease and diabetes and mental disorders and autoimmune diseases too. So find ways to release your stress, because that will help the stress hormone to stay down. It will cause when the stress is high, rather, the stress hormones will be raised like cortisol, causing your blood pressure to go up, causing blood sugar levels to go up, altering your appetite. So really, and getting in the way of normal digestion. So find ways to release your stress. Take a bath, go for a walk, talk to a friend, do something, and something stress relieving for yourself. Get enough sleep. Lack of sleep is one of the overlooked factors that can cause belly fat, can be a contributor. So it's important in the part of this obesity prevention approach that you get enough sleep. That helps to regulate your stress hormones. It controls your appetite better, gives you more energy for physical exercise, and may even help reduce cravings for sweets. And it tends to decrease emotional eating. Get enough sleep. Try a low carb diet or the keto diet. That is one of the things that has worked for many people. So consider that. Add metabolism boosters, things in your recipes like cayenne pepper, matcha green tea, seaweed. All of these things will make the body burn calories faster. So adding that. You can also add some specific ab workouts. There's a lot of different ones. I've seen ones where you don't even exercise your abs, you're really holding your arms up and moving your legs up and down, and that's doing something with your abs. So you want to do that 2 to 4 times a week, adding that to your daily workout. And again, working out on an empty stomach so that you burn the fat that's on the body, as opposed to when you eat food, that will then cause the body to burn fat from the food that you ate, to get energy from the food that you ate. But if you don't eat, it will pull it from the body, and specifically from the fat. So it's so important. So I hope those were some helpful tips for you. So in conclusion, really, body fat composition is a way to break down what we're made up of. And again, those 4 body components that create body composition is fat, the water in your body, the minerals in your body, the protein in your body. And so we want to take a look at what our BMI is, use this waist circumference way to determine where we are. We can't fix what we don't confront. Our genes really do not predispose us to, oh, I'm just big boned. There's no such thing. And thankfully, diet, exercise, stress reduction, and better sleep are all ways to create more lean muscle. And so if you are interested in the flat belly lifestyle, there's some of you that will be in town. Melissa Boston will be in town on December 2nd, and we're going to be over at the La Meridian. We're going to be doing bioscans, blood type testing, and I do believe we have quite a few slots open for Thursday. Also, they have what they call a flat belly bundle, and the flat belly bundle has flat belly gummies, flat belly coffee, flat belly bitters, and right now they got it at an all-time low. For all of that, you can get enough for 2 people for $100, I believe. And so if you're interested in all of that, you can go to darlainarose.me, darlainarose.me. I bought that just for me, because darlainarose.me. I think it will be a great way for a lot of people to get a jump start on 2022, because 2022, what good is having all the money, all the crypto, all the Bitcoin, all the houses, all the cars, and you sick? We can't be sick. We cannot be sick. Listen, I can't be sick because I got cruises to take, I got flights to catch, I got places to go see, and I know all of y'all want to go with me. So the only way you can go with me is if your health is under control. So don't wait till January 1st. Start now. Start now. Start now. Somebody said put it in the chat. DarlainaRose.me. It's my name. DarlainaRose.me. What's my name? DARLA, Darlaina Rose. .me. There you go. .me. .me.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Miss Darlaina Rose. .me. She did an excellent job as usual. And let me ask you a few questions based on your subject matter today.
Absolutely.
You mentioned you said the BMI.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Body mass
index.
Mm-hmm. Index.
Yeah.
How do I, like, when you look at those, because I have a great scale,
mm-hmm.
and it say all these other things. I'm looking at the weight, but it said a lot of other different. Your fat you can measure. You said the tape measure. You can measure your waist.
Yes.
How do I look at my BM? When you look at these numbers, are there any specific numbers that? Because now it's like you'll see it. Like the fat, it's really accurate. I know it is because my fat is like out of freaking control. So how do I what are the ideal numbers? Like they tell me how much. I don't even know. Is there an ideal number
for BMI
individual? Yes. Let's talk about you. We're gonna talk about
Let's talk about you. So BMI, really, it doesn't matter if you're thin or fat. Your BMI, it can be, out of control. And so let me see, where's the chart here? So BMI is a healthy normal BMI is 18.5 to 24.9. Um, and again, there's things that affect that. Um, your ethnicity, age, gender,
Yes.
all of that affects that.
Yes.
So you want to take it with a grain of salt. You want to be within range, but if you're a little off, because it says for me, my BMI is 26 right now. At 26 BMI is overweight.
Wow.
So
Wow.
you know that there's some leeway in there. So don't get stuck on numbers and what everything is. You know that there's work that you need to do. So you want to just be self-aware as to what you put in your body, whether or not you're moving every day, and what type of food that you're eating. Because the more dead food you eat, I don't care how pretty it is. I don't care if it's cake, cookies, steak, whatever. We like eating all these things because they taste good, and it's okay in moderation. But that cannot be your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You need to be eating some oatmeal, having some good cereal, maybe some bars, things that are going to help you to change your lifestyle. And that's the only thing that's going to save you. A diet is not. A diet is not. Even if you decided to do keto or something low carb, then that has to be your lifestyle. It can't just be, oh, I'm doing it and I lose weight and then I go back to doing everything. You're going to just gain it back. And so it's okay to say, you know what? I'm going to be keto for the rest of my life, or I'm going to be vegan for the rest of my life. You have to make these hard decisions so that you have a rest of your life, because these states that a lot of us are in can absolutely cause a stroke, heart attack, and everybody don't survive. Everybody don't survive these things. My dad had a massive heart attack and did not survive. Did not survive. At 66, he did not survive. One of my friends had a stroke and was in the hospital for a good little bit. She did not survive. And so the fact that some of us have had some scares and some things have happened, we survived. So we cannot take that lightly, that okay, I survived, but I'm just going to be willy-nilly. No, you have to say, Lord, thank you, Jesus, and let me not take for granted that I'm still here to do my work. So
Wow,
you can
yeah.
use
What
your
cereals do you recommend?
I like Cascadian Farms cereal, and kind cereal. Kashi is a good one. And one of the things that we're doing with the flat belly lifestyle is we are giving you a grocery list and recipes, so that you have things that you can start to incorporate. One of the things that we use, that I use with my clients, is a method called crowding out. And crowding out means you just add more stuff. Shut up, Laverne. Be quiet. Add some strawberries and some bananas to it. But if you,
I'm desperate. I love cereal, and I've had to give up cereal. I don't think I've had a bowl of cereal now in, gosh, maybe 4 years.
yeah, you can do.
It's got too much carb in it.
Okay, yeah.
I
And it's
can't.
not
I
it's not a
literally
thing.
cannot.
Yeah, it's not some of this stuff is not things that you can have every day. It's things that you can maybe have once a week. But crowding out, just remember this. Crowding out means I don't have to stop eating bad. I'm just adding good stuff. And the more good stuff I keep adding, eventually I crowd out the bad stuff. So just keep adding the good stuff. Don't think about it. Don't feel like, oh, I'm restricted or I can't have. You can have whatever you want. But whatever you want is going to have a consequence. So understand that there's consequences for the things that we do in everything. So there it is.
Right. I'll keep cereal researching, because that was my go-to breakfast. And I had to substitute it with either fruit. What I do now is just smoothies. I do
smoothies. I do smoothies. I do oatmeal. A good oatmeal.
that you do, Darlaina. What's the name of that smoothie you said
I use a company called Revive Superfoods. Revive Superfoods, I like them because if you go to the store and you spend $50, $60, $75, $100 on all these fruits and vegetables, by the time the week is out, that fruit is starting to go bad. And so for me, I find to have a variety, I use Revive Superfoods. I get 24 smoothies delivered a month. I think it costs me, and right now they having like a big sale, 40% off the box. Like I pay like $100. So when you think about spending $100 on something that you can put in your freezer, pull out one at a time, and have that smoothie as needed. And then you got a berry smoothie, strawberry smoothie, banana smoothie, you got chai smoothie, you got the blue spirulina, and they have everything in it. Let me grab one real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, because I put flaxseed in mine because it helps with keeping inflammation out. I always put flaxseed in mine. I found a protein that is low in the carb area.
So
all protein isn't good either.
So here it is. This is Revive Superfoods. This is how it comes. This is berry blue. Berry blue has bananas, pineapple, zucchini, cauliflower, blueberries, raspberries, lime extract, spirulina, pea protein, non-alcoholic vanilla, chia seeds, hemp protein. It's all in this one thing. If you bought this stuff separately, it would cost way more than $3, which this works out to be.
Right.
And then this one is called Strawberry Zen. Strawberry Zen has banana, strawberries, raspberries, zucchini, peaches, pea protein, cranberry powder, flax seeds, and chia seeds. So all you do with this is you add your, you can't see that one. Let me see. Let me see this one. You just add your.
Can you give us a?
Yeah.
Can I have your link?
Yeah, I'll put it in the Can you see how full it is? So it's full to the top with everything in there, and all you do is add your nut milk. You can add juice or you can add water, and you just dump it in the thing, and then you put it back in, and then it got a hole for a straw, and you just go on from there. And it's so convenient and so easy. Wow. I will put it in the LCA because I don't have it readily available, so I'll put it in LCA for you. But yeah, so that's one of my hacks that I do.
That's my new breakfast.
I know that's fun. And it's easy, especially when you're busy lifestyle.
Yes, absolutely. So I use my entrepreneur hacks are Revive Superfoods. Then I use a food delivery service because the same thing. When you go to the market, you end up spending $50 to $100 extra for things you don't need. But if you order your food, they send you everything. So it depends on who you are. If you're a person who needs to cook or likes to cook, they will send you a home chef, or Gobble will send you all of the things that you need to cook, including the seasonings and everything. You don't got to go in your cabinet at all. Or you can do something like Tavala, where they just send it to you, put it in the oven, turn it on, and it's done. You don't have to prepare anything. So depending on who you are, if you add 2 to 3 of those meals a week, that will help you to eat healthier. It will save you money by keeping you out of the grocery store where you'll end up buying more things. So I'll do a little post with my entrepreneur hacks in there and share the companies that I use and the links that I use so that you'll have that. Sound good?
Awesome.
Yes, excellent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We are way over our time. We appreciate you, Darlaina. And guys, go to darlaina.me, get her information, and hook her sister up while she can hook you up with your right numbers. How about that?
Yes.
Have a great day on purpose, guys. Take control over your life, because if you don't, the doctors will do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Bye, everybody. All right. Thank you guys for watching. The sun is shining on me now. If you are somebody who is trying to lose weight, to take care of some sort of imbalance in the body, by all means, some of these hacks are really, really amazing. So thank you again for watching. I will put in the post everything I talked about. So have an amazing rest of your day. Bye for now.